Today is the 8th day of Chodesh Adar. We are holding at the very top of Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Beis with a sugya that continues from yesterday. Many aspects of it are not things that are shaykh bisman hazeh at all, but they were very prevalent apparently in the days of Chazal. And just as a general klal, we should point out that all of these sugyas are really part and parcel of the mitzvah of v'chai b'hem, that we need to make sure that we are healthy and well. And being that there are many dangers, physical, spiritual, metaphysical, and inyanim skuliyim that are problematic, so Chazal wanted to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. The Gemara begins at the top of Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Beis by telling us, Hayman de mefune agirda de dikla. If one uses, goes to the bathroom on the stump of a palm tree, a ruach ra, an evil spirit by the name of palga, is going to attack them. And the Rashbam here points out what exactly does that mean. It means that he's going to get a headache on the side of his head. That's the that's the next piece. The Haman the Matzli Reisha if you are Matzli Reisha, if you lean your head on the stump of a palm tree, after the Ruach Tzarada, then you have the Ruach Tzarada, and that's going to give you a headache on one side of your head. Haman de Pasi Adikla, if a person steps over a palm tree, I Mikdal, if it was cut down, katil, then this person will be cut down, meaning that they will be killed. This is something very dangerous. And if it was uprooted, that's how it fell down. He will be uprooted and die, meaning both of these things are not good. But nevertheless, says the Gemara, that is, if he did not put his foot on it. But if he put his foot on it, then we are not concerned about that at all. Meaning, it seems to be that a person that has a reverence, some superstitious reverence, not to stand on the palm tree that was cut down or uprooted, that will affect them. But if they stand on it, they just walk on their merry way. That seems to be okay. Now the Gemara tells us, 7 lines down from the top of the page, there are 5 different shades, meaning shadows, not shadim, but shadows caused by certain things, and they are dangerous as a result of the shadim that inhabit them. They are tula dedikla yechida, the shade of a single palm tree. We saw that yesterday, 2 days ago. Tila de kanda, the shade of a kanda tree. Tula de parcha, the shade of a caper bush. Tula de zrata, the shade of a zrata, which is a sorb tree. I checked this out on Wikipedia. Iki de amri, and there are those that say tula de arba, also the shade of a ship, Viltula de arvasa, and the shade of an arava, of a willow tree. Klala de milsa, the rule here is kol denafish anfe, whatever has a lot of branches, kashe tule, its shade is harmful. V'chol de kashe silve, and anything that has hard bark, hard wood, kashe tule, its shade is also harmful. Levar, except for levar michroi masa, the tree that's called a kroi masa. What exactly is this tree? So they translate that as a service tree, or that might be referring to the cypress tree. When I was trying to figure this out, a service tree doesn't seem like it grows in Bavel, at least not what we call a service tree today. But a cypress tree certainly does. Says the Gemara, Afal Gav, the kasha silva, even though its wood is hard, like kasha tule, its shade is not harmful. The Amrle Shida Livra, as we know from a particular story where a demon said to her son, Birche Nafshich Michroi Masa, run away, fly away from the Chroi Masa, the Ihu who the Kata Lavuch, because that is what killed your father, Vikata Le Dide, and it'll kill you too. Meaning this is dangerous. The Kramasa is somehow or another very dangerous for the Shadim, and therefore they run away from these things. The Rambam Bichlal holds that all of this is not literal, that all of these ideas of Shadim are not literal, and arguably what we are talking about here are different kinds of viruses or bugs or bacteria or things that inhabited these trees that are invisible to the naked eye, but they cause damage. Now, there might be pshat. There might be pshat pashut, and also that the fear of these things causes psychological damage to people. So that might be a piece of this as well. But what Chazal are telling us is that by standing in the shadow of these certain trees, you can be affected by it. Amar Rashi says, "Chazina l'Rav Kahana de Parish mi kuli tule." I saw that that Rav Kahana was makbid. He stayed away from all shadows of all trees. Or all shadows bichlal. Bei pirchi ruchi, and the demons of that which dwell in cable trees, ruchi are called ruchi. The bei zarda shida, those that are in the saw bushes are called shida, and the bei igri, and those that are haunting rooftops are called rishvi. There are different names for different demons that inhabit different places. Answer the Gemara the obvious question: L'man av kamina. Who cares, right? Meaning, who cares what flavor of ruach ra shadim spirits exist wherever? Says the Gemara. I'll tell you exactly what the nafkamin is. L'kmer, to be able to write an amulet, to be able to write some protective scroll that is going to protect you from these things. You need to know exactly what you are writing it for. Big sugya, exactly what kmers are. And whether or not they are effective, or whether or not a person should or should not use them bisman hazeh. There's a tremendous amount to speak about. Nevertheless, machlokes in the Rishonim and Achronim and Poskim Ad Yom Hazeh. Debei Parchi, there was a demon of the caper bushes. What exactly is this? That's Bria She'en La Einaim. It's some creature that has no eyes. That's the danger that lurks in the Bei Parchi. The main afkamina, what difference does it make? Ligzusala, with regards to running away from it. Meaning, if you see it, if it encounters you, if you encounter it, you can run away from it. It's not going to be able to chase you. You can't see where you're going. Once it happened that a certain Tzubim Rabbanan, Yeshiva Bacha, was going to the bathroom by some caper bushes. He heard that it was coming to him. Meaning this, the creature that dwells in the Beiparchi, v'gazi la, and he ran away from it. Ki azla chabke ledikla, and when he ran away, the demon hugged a palm tree because he didn't know where it was. Tzavach dikla, and the palm tree cried out, upakahu, and he exploded. The demon exploded, meaning it can't follow you. Parach de Zarda Shidi, and the demons of the sword bushes are called Shidi, are called demons. Shedim. Ha Zarta de Smich Lamata, but a Zarda tree, which is close to the city, Loi Pachasa Mishisin Shidi, inhabits no less than 60 demons, 60 of these things, meaning closer to the city, there's a lot more stuff going on. Why do you need to know that there's at least 60 Shedim that are there? With regards to writing Khmer, in order to deal with all 60 of them. And then the Gemara tells the story how Bar Kasha de Masa, there was a certain city watchman or official. There was a Kasha de Masa, meaning he was official of the city. The Azil, he was on his way. V'kai Gabi Zarta, and he passed by this particular sorb tree, this Zarta. The Havasamach Lamasa that was close to the city. And 60 of these demons descended on him. He was in grave danger. And he came to one of the Rabbanan. He didn't know that it was from a particular sword bush that had these 60 demons. But and therefore he wrote the Khmer only to deal with one shade. Shama de Talu Chinga Begave, and he heard how they hung a chinga, which was some musical instrument, I don't know, wind chime of some nature, on the tree. Vikam Mashro Hachi, and the demons were singing. And what did they say? Sudri Demar Kitzuvim Rabbanan. He's wearing the hat of the turban of a Torah scholar, of a yeshiva bacha. He means he looks like he's a Talmud Chacham. But Dikna Bey, but we checked him out. Bemar de lo yada baruch, and it turns out that he doesn't even know how to make brachas, meaning he knows nothing. He doesn't know that there's 60 of us here. Atu Hamer Rabbanan the other desire to Shidi Hava, and then came another Talmud Chacham that knew Taka that there were 60 demons that were here. Kasav like Khmer the Shid and Shidi, and he wrote the Khmer against 60 demons. Shmad the Ka and he heard that they said, Panu Minach Mehachi, get out of here. That the demons were singing, it's time to go, or announcing, it's time to go, because somebody that knows what they're doing just showed up. Then says the Gemara, and we see this mentioned in the Pesachim, that there is something called Ketev Meriri. Ketev Meriri literally means like bitter destruction, and the Gemara says that this is the name of a demon. That where the Torah says Ketev Meriri, that's talking about a particular kind of destruction, and that destructive force has a name. But the Gemara says Trei Kitvei Havu Ketev Meriri is only one of the two kinds of Ketev that exist. Chad Mikame Tiara, v'chad Mevasa Tiara. One is damaging before noon, and one is damaging afternoon. The Mikame Tiara, the one that is before noon, Ketev Meriri Shmo, it's called Ketev Meriri. Umechsi ba Keda de Kamcha, and it looks like, and there's different ways of reading it, that either it makes this happen or it looks like this. That it looks like Keda de Kamcha looks like a jug of kamcha, which is like some kind of, like similar to kutach, some kind of fermented milk mixture. V'hada be baksha, when it is stirred with a ladle. The basa tahara, after the ketev of the afternoon, ketev yeshud tzarayim, which is in Tilim Tzadi Aleph, ketev yeshud tzarayim. Shmai, that's its name. Umechsiba karna de iza, and it looks like the horns of a goat. The hadar bay kanafia, that has and that has wings in it, or some kind of some kind of flaps that are around the horns of this of the goat. Now, what exactly does this mean? Does this mean some kind of something that's in your food, or some kind of rotting, or some kind of sickness or illness? But either which way, these are the dangers that the Gemara is discussing here. Then the Gemara tells us, Abai was walking along one day, but Rav Papa Mimine, and Rav Papa was walking to his right. Rav Huna berei Rav Yeshua, and Rav Huna, the son of Rav Yeshua Mismale, was on his left. And he saw the Ketev Meriri, the morning Ketev. The Ka'asil Apei Dismale, and it was coming to him from the left. He was coming to attack him from the left. Rav Papa so he takes Rav Papa and he puts him to his left. Right, he moves him from one side of the other side. This is Rav Huna berei Rav Yeshua limine, and he puts Rav Yeshua, Rav Huna, the son of Rav Yeshua, to his right. Amali Rav Papa looks at him. He goes, "You worried about you? You worried about him? You're not worried about me?" Amali, he says, "No, I'm not worried about you. You, the times are good for you, meaning you have mazel." The response here says that you are healthy and you're wealthy, and demons cannot come and attack you. Whatever this demon is, it preys on the vulnerable, and you are not vulnerable. Says the Gemara, Mechad beTammuz ad Shisa Bei, from the first day of Tammuz, the month of Tammuz, until the 16th of Tammuz, Vade Shchichi, these demons are very common. Mikan va'elech Safich Shchichi, it's questionable whether they show up or not. Savaloi Shchichi, maybe they don't. Umishtache betuli dechatzva, either which way, they'd be found in the shade of a chatzva tree. The loy chatziv garmida, that hasn't grown garmida an amahai. Uvitula the tzafra upanya, in the morning and in the evening, the loy have a garmida, that the shadows are small, meaning when the shadows are less than an amma in length, meaning right at the beginning of the morning before the sun is shining too high, or right at the end of the evening, before the sun sets. But mainly they show up in the shade of the bathroom, meaning the bathhouse, or the outhouse. That's where they show up, these particular demons that do damage, which makes sense. Those are places that are infected and infested. Amar Rav Yosef says, Hani Tlas Mili, these three things, Yahiv Arbanul Nahara, cause blindness. Mid the Sorik Reisha Yavish, one who combs their hair while their head is dry. Uman the shasi tip, and somebody that drinks drops from the barrel, meaning drips out of the barrel. Man the same masni ad and my son kari, and one who puts their shoes on while their feet are wet. Says the Gemara. If you have bread that's hanging in your house, kashila aniyusa, that is that causes poverty. Kedamri inshi, as people say, tlas silsa tala mezainet, one who suspends their basket of bread, is going to put their parnasa in suspense, meaning it's going to hold up their parnasa. That's not a normal thing to do, that you hang up the bread and in a stingy way. To hang up meat and cheese, meat and fish, we'll see in a moment, that's okay. That's only true about bread. But if you want to dry your meat, but if you're going to hang meat and you're going to hang fish, but that's okay. That's a normal way of storing it. But bread's supposed to be on the table, not hung up somewhere so that nobody can access it. It's normal to hang your meat and to hang your fish. Parbi say, if there is bran in your house, meaning you could afford regular bread, but you're stingy, you don't want people to have regular bread, you have bran bread, like meaning bad quality bread, kashala niyusa, that is bad for you, that leads to poverty. If there are crumbs, leftovers that are in the house that are left lying around, and people are trampling on them, so that's also a cause for poverty. Because on Friday nights and on Wednesday and on Revius, meaning on Erev Wednesday, meaning Tuesday nights, there are demons that rest on these crumbs, and the Gemara then explains Isra dim zeni nakid, that the demon, the koach ruchani, that's not a demon, right? The spiritual power that Hashem sends to this world to be memona on people's parnasa, on their mezonos, is called nakid. Is called the mezoni nakid shmei is called cleanliness. That's nakid. If you are makpid on cleanliness, that brings mezonos into your life. The aniyusa, the spirit that's in charge of poverty, novel shmei, is called disgust. It's called filth. So people that have clean homes, that ensures that their parnasa happens well, and people that have dirty homes, that shows the disregard, novel shmei, and that causes a person to not have parnasa. So if a person puts a plate on top of a pitcher, kache la niusa, that is bad for poverty. I suppose they're trying to restrict whether or not people can drink from their pitchers. Man deshasi maya b'tzai, and one that drinks water from a plate is kache livrukti, will end up with some kind of eye disease. Rashbam says is a killing in eye, it destroys your eyesight. Not yours, somebody else, right? The person that eats cress is vegetables, right? I don't know, kale. The without washing his hands, Yomi will be terrified. It causes anxiety for 30 days. Turning of the page to Kufiyud Bays. The one that does bloodletting and doesn't wash their hands, Yomi will have anxiety for 7 days. The Shakal Mazib, one who cuts their hair, and doesn't wash their hands, Mifchad Tzlasi Yomi will be afraid for 3 days. The Shakal Tufre, one who cuts their nails, and doesn't wash their hands, Mafchid Yom will be terrified for 1 day. I suppose in all of these cases you won't know what you're afraid of, meaning you'll feel anxiety and you won't know why. All of these things cause anxiety. We'll just go just a little bit further. There's machlokes in the Rishonim how many times you have to wash your hands. Is it one time, or you should wash like you do in the morning? Yada usia darga de pachta, person that puts their hand on their on their upper lip underneath their nose, like this area. Darga lepachta is stepping the direction of fear. Does that mean it's a cause for fear, or it is an indication of fear? I think the psychologists say that a person that does this indicates that they are uncomfortable, meaning that's a telltale sign that a person themselves is fearful. Yada apuma, a person that puts their hand on their forehead, darga le shinta, is on their way to falling asleep, and once again, does that mean that a person should avoid doing this? Or if they do this, now they know what is going on with them or what's going on with somebody else. We will continue from food and drink under the bed, which is a big sugya. We will continue with that tomorrow. Hope everybody has a beautiful day, and we'll see you later.